right. The recording is started. I'm going to time.is.
Time.is.
All right. And how about we go at 4:46?
Fine. Fine. It's weird. It's weird that we're on the same time zone now.
Oh fuck, that is weird. I forgot.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not going to be true for half the year, but most of the time.
Yeah, because Arizona, if for once in his life, is ahead of the curve in abolishing the horror that is
Sync. Okay, that was bad. I feel like that was bad.
All right, you want to do it at 15? You know what? Let's go at 15. Sync.
Was that one better?
I think that one was better.
Okay, you want to do the 1, 2, 3 thing?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, 1,
2,
3. Okay. So,
before we get started, it's been a long month, I think, for both of us.
Yes, I think that's
Yeah. It's been a long week, actually.
Here's the thing about this episode. There has been, ever since like a little bit before Christmas, stuff has been like way up in the air. But also, I feel like we need to explain, because nobody has heard our excuses yet, why this is neither Zero to Hero or Lion King 1.5. Because I'm working on the Zero to Hero thing. I'll tell you what, it's impossible to find a VCR that works.
That's interesting. My little brother actually has 2 that he's fixed.
Yeah, but it's like I got them at Goodwill, and am I gonna send them back or figure out how to fix them? The answer is send them back.
If a smarter man would be able to fix them, I'm not a smarter man. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't have. Well, it's a little bit before our generation.
I grew up with VCRs.
Yeah, me too. I am to a certain extent mechanically minded, but I never had to learn how to fix one.
I mean,
they were
used
cheap.
to be able to do it.
Is the thing. If the VCR broke, you could just get a new VCR. It's like I can fix a lot of stuff with my computer because I don't want to have to buy a new computer.
Yeah.
You know?
I totally understand. On top of Hercules Zero to Hero just not existing outside of what seems to be of the VHS format upon which it was birthed,
which is, I mean, that's kind of perfect for this podcast though. So I still really want to do it.
It makes me worried that maybe, like, I don't know, like maybe we're gonna open it, like we're gonna open up a Pandora's box if we watch it. Awfulness.
I want to, but I still want to make a DVD of it. And then I will be the only human person with a digital copy of Hercules Zero to Hero.
Which I guess would be something to be proud of.
Well, proud is a strong word.
Proud is a strong word. Brave, maybe? It's brave of you.
Yes.
Welcome to Direct to Video, a podcast where we review poor sequels to great movies. On this episode, we're discussing Brother Bear 2. You didn't like it?
Correct. I had only seen it once before.
Same.
I had only seen it once before in theaters without my glasses on. And I have a very, very strong prescription. So I had not actually, quote-unquote, seen this movie before. I just saw blurry stuff happening and heard the plot of the movie. So that's where I'm at. That's where I was at coming into this movie. That, and I looked, and when I got it on Netflix, it had 2 stars, which is a fucking joke for a Disney movie.
Yeah, this movie, to call this movie a flop might be putting it a bit on the nose, because this movie had a budget of $130 million, and on its opening weekend, it barely made $300,000.
Whoa! Are you fucking 300,000?
Overall, overall that year it grossed $85 million. So It didn't even make back its budget in a year. This movie came out when Disney was in a bad spot.
Why did they make a sequel?
God, I haven't looked at the stats for the sequel yet, because I want it to surprise me when I read them by the time we get to it.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that at this time, Disney's direct-to-video animated sequels were money machines. They weren't losing money on them at all.
I guess that's true.
But the fact remains, though, that this movie just did not do well, and
now we get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you want to... Usually you walk us through the movie, I think. Although, why don't I grab my notes? I didn't even grab my notes. It's been so long. I still have notes for Hercules, because I watched Hercules before I realized that we could not watch the sequel. So I just have a bunch of notes on Hercules, so that those will come in handy at some point.
I'm not in a rush to watch Hercules, because I remember not liking that movie as a kid.
It aged surprisingly well for a movie that came out during that time period where Disney was kind of making crap.
I will say, though, that this was in the middle of Pixar's heyday.
What were they working on? Probably Monsters, Inc.?
This same year, 2003, was when Finding Nemo was released.
Oh, okay.
Which I believe set a record for the highest grossing premiere animated film ever.
Yeah?
I'm going to have to check myself on that. But yeah, I believe that set a record. But yeah, this was kind of just in the middle of Pixar really stealing Disney's thunder. And I remember when I was a kid, everyone was talking about Pixar's animated movies, and almost nobody was talking about Disney's.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that is, Disney owns Pixar now, but for a long time, people kind of assumed that Disney did own Pixar, because Disney's name was on all the Pixar movies.
Yeah, they published all of their films.
Yeah.
So at this time, Disney released, Atlantis, which was a financial failure.
Oh no, we're gonna
Lilo and Stitch. Yes, we are. Lilo and Stitch, which was good, but I don't actually know if that movie made money. I remember it being really good.
Lilo and Stitch is very good. People love that movie. That was also, I remember that being advertised more than almost any other Disney movie ever.
Definitely.
So
it was.
I feel like it should have made money.
Then we have Treasure Planet, which was another financial failure. I believe it's underrated, but
I'll say this about Treasure Planet because I said it about Chicken Little. You don't see a lot of father-son stuff in Disney movies.
Yeah.
And that one did manage to touch on it and do it well. But man, here's my problem with Treasure Planet. Have you seen Muppet Treasure Island?
No, I haven't actually. I never really grew up with the Muppets.
You cannot, and this is me being genuine. This isn't.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can beat Muppet Treasure Island for a Treasure Island movie.
Hey, you know what I would like to do? Just as a fun episode one day, is maybe watch Treasure Planet and Muppet Treasure Island, because Treasure Planet doesn't have a sequel.
That actually does sound pretty fun. I would love that.
So...
It'd be one where we could talk about good movies, even though Treasure Planet's not particularly good. It's not bad either.
Yeah. So then after Treasure Planet, they released Brother Bear.
Yeah. Okay.
They released Home on the Range, which almost no one remembers.
Oh my god, Home on the Range. I never actually saw that movie, because who did?
I did. I remember this movie. And I remember when it came out, it was advertised as the final classically animated Disney film, which made me sad after I watched it. Because I was like, really? You guys are going to go out with this?
This how you going to do me like?
Thankfully... Yeah, I was like, you're going to do me like that, Disney? Come on. So, in the same time frame that Disney released these kind of mediocre to bad movies, Pixar released Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo and The Incredibles.
Oof.
Which is holy shit.
You just can't push back against that at all. Disney got buried by all the Pixar stuff.
Yeah, this to me, to this era of Disney film that we're in with this movie is, to me, it's the end of classically animated Disney movies. I don't now. When I say that, I'm not saying that Disney's never going to make animated movies again. I think they are. I mean, the Winnie the Pooh movie that came out recently is fantastic. It was kind of set up to fail because they released it at the same time as the final Harry Potter film, literally day and date.
Wow, that's bold.
Yeah, but it was really good.
But I guess they can always just make another Winnie the Pooh movie, because Winnie the Pooh, they've had that title for so long, and you can always make a new Winnie the Pooh story.
But in terms of output, this was definitely kind of the last hurrah for this classically animated style of movie, which, to being honest, you can see when you're watching Brother Bear, a lot of it is computer animation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the first of them that has it so readily apparent. Like, there were a lot of scenes in Brother Bear where it felt like the characters were kind of floaty.
Yeah. I'll say this, though. It does feel like, if you go back, I'm going to compare it to a movie that you don't remember, so this isn't going to sit particularly well with you, but maybe you can pull it to a different movie. If you watch Aladdin, in the scene where the cave crumbles, that's all computer animated, and it's so apparent. Because this is the moment that they started using computer animation. And it's been 10 years when they started making Brother Bear. Brother Bear does it a lot better, but you can still see where corners were cut, type of thing.
Yeah, it really is weird how amateurish Brother Bear looks.
Yeah,
compared to
I can see that.
Compared to Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet is a beautiful looking movie, and it mixes CGI and hand animation spectacularly.
You saw that Paperman short, right?
Yeah, oh my god, yes.
That one was beautiful.
You know how they made that, right?
Did they draw the 2D animation, then put it on top of the 3D animation?
No, they did it the other way around. They animated it in CGI and then hand drew over it.
Oh. It was beautiful.
Oh my god, just
I don't
lovely.
know if you can... I don't think you can make something longer than a short with that, because it sounds like you basically have to make the same movie twice.
Yeah, I think I would love to see them do it. I want... a dream of mine is for Disney's animated department to get big enough that one day they could just release a movie that's animated in that style just to do it.
That'd be kind of cool.
It's been a long time since Disney's released a movie just to show off their technological skill.
What would you say the last time that was? You're the more Disney expert. I just have opinions.
I want to say Treasure Planet.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of crazy stuff that they do in Treasure Planet that looks really good. It's just the movie didn't catch enough people to be a success. And I will say that before Treasure Planet, I would say it was The Black Cauldron, and before The Black Cauldron, it would be Sleeping Beauty. And so, the time gaps between these movies is insane. It's 34 years between Sleeping Beauty and Black Cauldron.
Wait, do you know when The Black Cauldron came out, or did you just look that up?
I'm looking at the dates right now, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, I liked The Black Cauldron. I don't know when it came out. I'm one of 4 people who thought The Black Cauldron was a good movie.
Yeah, and we're looking at 27 years between Treasure Planet and Black Cauldron. So
yeah, okay.
It's once in a blue moon when Disney kind of just puts a lot of money into a movie. And unfortunately, all 3 of those movies kind of weren't financial successes.
Was Sleeping Beauty not a financial success?
It was not. It was not a financial success, if I remember correctly. But Sleeping Beauty was also ridiculously expensive. because every frame of that film was hand painted and animated. Like there were no cut corners.
Yeah.
Like it is a technologically like impossible film to replicate.
Yeah, and that's why it's a classic, because it's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely not because of the story, because it doesn't have a protagonist. But that's
God, yeah, you know what I just realized is after Sleeping Beauty did so poorly that it was the last Disney princess movie until The Little Mermaid. Because with the failure of Sleeping Beauty, Disney kind of stuck to animal adventure movies. That's when you get 101 Dalmatians, Jungle Book, Aristocats, Robin Hood. It's Fox and the Hound.
I keep forgetting Aristocats exists.
I really like Aristocats.
That's fine.
But oh my god, I love the Aristocats, but man, there is a hella racist part in that movie that's just like, ugh.
Same with the Jungle
Book. Makes my skin crawl.
And Dumbo.
The Jungle Book as well has a similar moment.
Damn, I'm glad there isn't a sequel to Dumbo. I'm glad that I never have to watch Dumbo for this podcast. I'm already mad about probably having to watch Bambi.
But I've heard that Dumbo holds up pretty well.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Somebody's told me that rewatching Dumbo recently, they were surprised at how, I mean, it's still racist, but they were surprised at how the tone of the racism that it was. They expected it to just be a throwaway joke like most of the racism in Disney movies is.
Or like really, really terrible like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It really, to them, kind of comes off, I believe they said it was something like, it comes off as kind of like they were trying to do political commentary, but it just kind of falls flat on its face.
Do you know what we should be doing, though, Andy?
We should be talking about... Brother Bear.
Perfect.
So, Brother Bear came out in 2003. It stars everyone's favorite man who falls in love with a cell phone, Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't know who that is.
Well, did you watch Her? Well, that was like the last big movie he was in.
Okay. I should not have interrupted you. Nobody is ever going to be able to explain to me who this man is.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just realized after I started, like, well, actually, I'm going to cut this out. No, I'm not. So...
That's the best joke on the podcast. I'm going to cut this out. No, we'll fix this in post. Every time we make a mistake that's so bad we decide to cut it out, I always leave it in. I know you do too. So
yeah. Well, but then I cut out like little things that don't actually matter.
Right. I cut out half the time we say
Yeah, God, Jesus, so much. Mm-hmm. So, Brother Bear is the story of a young Inuit hunter who is going through his manhood ceremony at the beginning of the film. His name is Kenai, and he is the youngest of three brothers, Denahi and Sitka. And over the course of the beginning of the film, Kenai gets a totem of love at the end of his manhood ritual, which he's kind of ashamed of, and at the same time forgets to put away the fish that him and his brothers had hunted earlier that day.
Can I,
Word up.
Do you know what I am, Andy? Completely out of practice. I have all these notes, and they're all at the beginning of the film, and there's just some stuff I wanted to mention.
Cool.
So when it starts, it's... say his name again, the middle brother.
The middle brother?
Yeah.
That's Denahi.
The middlest brother.
Yes. Kenai, Denahi, and Sitka, the McElroy brothers.
The movie starts with Denahi in the future talking about the past, talking about this stuff happening. That's correct. And something that I just thought was interesting is that it starts with him talking in a language that I do not know, and it gives like a voiceover, like when you interview a Russian guy for American TV.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because it reminded me of what you had said when we were watching Pocahontas. Every time Pocahontas was in a scene with just other native people, they all spoke English. And then whenever she talked to John Smith, they all spoke English. And it sort of, it does that kids movie thing of what language barrier? There's no language barrier.
Yeah.
And this kind of subverted that a little. I thought that was nice. And then you skipped over this because it's not important to the movie. But there's this scene where they're all fishing together. They're all catching fish. And there's a song that I can't remember, but it was bad. And all the music in this movie is kind of bad and kind of forgettable. Which is a big disappointment to me. But the point is, in this scene, they were all happy and playing together and messing around and fishing, and there was a musical overture. And I was just watching this thinking, if I didn't already know somebody was gonna die, I would know somebody was gonna die. Because you can't have the opening of the movie be this happy.
Yeah, it really, really pushes you towards the fact that, like, look at how happy these three characters are. Sure would be a shame if something happened to one of them.
And the other thing is, back in the future, I only thought of this when I saw the mammoths again. Back in the future, God, tell me his name again.
Denahi.
I keep on thinking Sitka, but that's the other one. Back in the future, Denahi says that this tale happens when the mammoths still roam. Which means in this tale about nature, they killed off all the mammoths. That's just sort of glossed over, but we know that mammoths were hunted to extinction. And these people who were supposed to live in nature and with nature perfectly killed them all off. Did none of them get magically turned into mammoths because of this? Because it seems like that's how it works.
I mean, mammoths were hunted to extinction in North America.
Also, this movie made me look up Eskimo kisses, so I could check and see if they were real. Because there were people like rubbing noses, and I was like, "Is this just something we assume happened?" Apparently, it really happened happens, I guess, in Inuit tribes. It's just like a nice little.
I never knew that had a name or what Eskimo kisses were.
Oh, you didn't know what that? They sometimes call them... When I was a kid, we called them Eskimo kisses. I think they call them butterfly kisses now because you're not supposed to say Eskimo. Because Eskimo is like a racist term for Inuit. Except we don't think of it as racist because we live so far away from them.
Yeah, I mean, we live in the desert.
It's true. I live in the desert now. Okay.
That's right. That's a hard we right there. So, Kenai's fish are stolen, and he decides to pick up a spear and run off and go fix the problem because he's a man, and that's what a man has to do.
Right. In my notes, it says, nobody wants to stop the teenager from hunting a bear alone with a pointy stick. No.
Well, his brothers go after him.
They do, but they don't go after him fast enough, it seems like.
They really don't, because by the time their brothers get to him, he has had his butt thoroughly handed to him off a cliff by the bear. So him and his brothers start fighting the bear, and over the course of this battle, his eldest brother, Sitka, nobly sacrifices himself to make sure that the brother doesn't attack them while they're trying to get up.
Right. He's saving his middleest brother and his sweet baby brother.
He dies, but the bear lives.
Genuinely did not realize these were the jokes I was going to be making. I apologize.
No. I would love for you to keep making jokes about the McElroys in a movie where one of them dies and the youngest turn. If Griffin McElroy could turn into any animal, do you think he would choose a bear?
Well, do you remember the episode? It was like a series of 3 episodes where he turned into a dog.
That's a good point. So I guess the answer is no, huh?
No, probably not.
Dogs are like small bears.
They are. Okay, yes. Dogs are like small bears.
So
Sitka dies.
So Sitka dies, and oh no, everyone's really sad about it. Except for Kenai and Denahi, who are really mad. And Kenai's like, I'm going to go kill this bear, because that worked out so well the first time. Mm-hmm. And Denahi being...
Denahi is kind of... I kind of feel for Denahi here, because he says he's trying to be wise. And you kind of can't do that. You can't, like, try to be wise and say, no, the bear's just part of nature. This just happened. And actually, you know what? I blame you.
Which he does say.
This whole thing is built like it's Kenai's fault. And a little bit like it's Denahi's fault. But at the end of the day, Sitka should have stopped him from trying to hunt a bear alone. He's the oldest brother. He turns into a magic eagle. That's great. But sorry, no, you keep going. Yeah.
So Kenai goes and hunts down this bear and successfully murderizes the bear.
Yes.
Kills it dead.
He does do that. Although I noted in my notes that this is the quietest bear. Because there are so many scenes where the bear is sneaking up on him. Or like where he almost runs into the bear because he doesn't notice a bear. Bears are big.
So bears are actually one of the quietest animals.
Yeah? Okay.
There is an amazing video that I love where I believe it's a National Geographic cameraman where he's wearing a GoPro and he climbs this tree and he says something like, yeah, so this is the ranger told me that this is a good spot and to see bears and to just make sure that I don't move when I see one or else they might attack me. And he's looking out into kind of this like little clearing towards a river, and then all of a sudden the tree just starts violently shaking and he's just like, what the hell's going on? And then he looks to his left and there's just a bear there.
Oh, in the tree or
yeah, in the tree with him.
Okay, great.
No, in the tree with him. And he just stays there until the bear leaves.
Yeah, that's what you do, but, I guess.
Yeah, but apparently bears are super quiet when they want to be.
I cannot imagine the moment where you're staring at a bear and you think, if I run, I'll die. But I feel like if I stay here, I'll also definitely die. Ugh. Now, I want to, I want to get your opinion on something. Because this is something I noticed, and I don't know if I noticed it just because The Lion King was such a formative movie for me. Mm-hmm. Is this movie a little bit too much like The Lion King? Not the actual plot, but like the themes. Where it's got his older brother, he doesn't have an actual father, so he's like the father figure, and he dies, and then goes up to the magic spirit place in the sky, and then comes down and visits him again when he's fucked up. I just thought that was kind of like a little on the nose.
I definitely do think that they were going for that Lion King tone with this movie, because this movie ends with the musical number at the end kind of reaching its climax, and then on its final note hitting us with the title card, like the Lion King did.
Yeah, just like the Lion King.
So I do think that was on purpose. I think a big part of this movie was them trying to recapture that, for lack of a better word, that kind of magical feeling that the Lion King gave people. But I think they kind of misunderstood. I think it was more of I think whoever was in charge of this movie thought, if we just do what the Lion King did in this other different movie, people will like it better, as opposed to kind of thinking about it as, we need to make this movie's story stronger because this movie's story is not that great.
Right. It's like if you're writing a book and you think, this book isn't very good, so I'll make it all in a magical school. Kids love that. Okay, I was wondering if you noticed that too, because that felt kind of iffy to me.
No, I definitely noticed it, yeah. So honestly, so after this point, the movie Kenai becomes a bear. The spirits are angry with him, so they turn him into a bear to help him learn about love.
Sure.
And he finds Coda, who is this youngish bear.
Now, I do wanna put something in between, because at this moment, Denahi also decides he's gonna kill this bear, because now this bear has killed two of his brothers, and he's just mad.
That's right, because Denahi believes that Kenai, who is now a bear, is the same bear.
Right. And so he goes to kill Kenai, and a couple things happen.
I do want to point out, though, that Kenai is a lot smaller than...
Yeah, he is. He's
the bear he killed?
Lot less intimidating of a bear. But the other bear disappeared. What was he supposed to think? He skinwalked into a bear. Like, they used that bear.
The movie at this point kind of just becomes Kenai taking Coda to the salmon run because Coda can't find his mom. And them kind of forming this bond together. And honestly, to me, this movie is strongest at that point.
Yeah, I can see that. Here's a couple of my issues.
Yeah.
1, this was something I forgot to mention a little bit earlier, but every time somebody uses a spear in this movie, it breaks. It's like every spear is made of balsa wood. I understand in movies spears break, but and in real life spears break, but you make a spear so that you can use a spear. If a spear breaks every time you use it, it's not good. 2, Coda, he was so annoying. Like, he was annoying to me outside of the screen.
Oh, okay.
This is the first time I've seen a Disney movie where, like, the character that the main character is supposed to find annoying was also annoying to me. Okay. I thought, man, this kid won't shut up. And then I thought, well, I should not be thinking that.
Well, it is his big character trait.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Coda. I think he's one of the truest kid characters that Disney's had in a long time.
That's pretty fair.
Because in most Disney movies, if you have this kid character, it usually revolves around the kid. But for a movie that's about kind of this adult forming a relationship with this younger bear, I realize now that this is a Disney movie that's kind of targeted towards, like, kids who are...
There's a lot of brotherly stuff in this.
Yeah, but it's all kind of from the mindset of the older brother. But the thing is if you're an older brother going to watch this movie, you don't want to watch this movie. You came here because your little brother wanted to watch this movie.
Right. You say that, but one of the reasons people liked Lilo and Stitch, is because that did so well about being an older sister and having to take care of your younger sister. And maybe it's because those were two human people. You facing real problems.
I don't think it has anything to do with being human. I think it has to do with the focus of the film, because Lilo and Stitch has an amazing relationship between Lilo and her older sister, but the movie isn't framed from the elder sister's perspective the whole time.
Yeah, that's true. It's framed from Lilo's perspective, so you only can't remember her name. You only get her perspective a little bit of the time. That's true. Okay, I can see that. But it's funny how these two movies that came out around the same time both played with this theme, and one of them did it really well, and one of them did it very poorly.
Yeah. There is a joke in this movie that genuinely made me laugh.
Oh boy.
And it was when they finally got to the salmon run, and they were all, like, tossing around this salmon head and telling stories, like, this is what I did this year.
Man, you're jumping way forward in the movie. Or do you want to backpedal so I can talk about how the mammoths definitely died from being way too accommodating?
I mean, you could talk. So the thing is like, not much happens for most of this movie. Like, a good chunk of this movie is just these two bears getting to know each other, and that it's nice, but there's not much you can say about it.
Well, there's some stuff. Here, well, let me go down the list. Since you don't have anything to say, I'll just go down this list. So,
yeah, okay.
Here was one of my other issues with this movie. I know that these volcanic pits exist in real life, and definitely existed during the Ice Age. It still reminded me way too much of The Lion King. This is another scene.
Yeah, the camera angle was the exact same, too.
Yeah. So that was sort of my issue there. Then there's hashtag not all bears, where Kenai tells Coda how all bears are terrible. But oh no, not you. No, you're one of the good ones. That was just something I noticed. And then the music came on. I'm on my way, or whatever. Poof. I don't know, man.
Phil Collins.
Was that Phil Collins? I did not like this. I did not like that music.
Yeah, this is... Like, Phil Collins in Tarzan is fine. But I'm not a fan of Phil Collins.
Yeah. It's just... It really sounds like he's phoning it in. They're going somewhere. Da-da-da-da-da-da, on my way. Alright. Well...
God, yeah, it's just not... No, the songs in this movie are pretty poor.
Oh, and this whole time they're still being chased by Kenai's brother.
Yeah, which... That's a really kind of a dark plot thread that the movie just kind of has the whole time.
Yeah, and I feel like they could have done something really cool with it, and they kind of didn't.
I especially love how much time is passing in this movie.
We should mention the Canadian moose, too.
Oh, yeah,
not for any reason, just because they were pretty good characters. Yeah, they're not bad.
They were this movie's idiot sidekicks. Rhett and Took, that's their names.
Yes. They were your basic goofy sidekick characters.
Yeah.
They did not bring very much to the table, but they weren't bad to have around. So tell me about the one joke you laughed at.
Right, so there's an amazing joke that I laughed at, and the fact that I laughed at this joke kind of sucks because this joke has nothing to do with the movie. It feels like somebody in the studio wrote a great joke.
Oh, actually, I wonder if it's going to be the one thing I thought was funny. I don't think I actually laughed at this movie, but I thought one part was funny. All right, tell me.
I probably is because it's when they're telling all of their stories, and at one point they toss a fish to this really old bear, and she's like, "This year my husband died," and from off screen you just hear him, "Quit telling everyone I'm dead."
Yeah. She sounded like... I thought I recognized her voice. I think she's an actual comedian, that woman, who was just doing some voice acting in this movie.
She is Estelle Harris, and now that I've looked up who she is, I am so mad that I didn't recognize her voice, because she is Mrs. Potato Head in the Toy Story film.
Awesome. Okay, great. Yes, that was a good joke. But that whole scene, I actually did not like. And especially, again, with the stupid music and the... Here's the thing. Everybody... I can sort of understand why they did it this way. Because it's an easy way to introduce you to a lot of characters. Every bear in this movie is a stereotype of a person at a certain point in their lives. So they have, like, the old bears, and they have, like, the lovers, the, like, young lovers, and you just have the fat uncle types, and it's supposed to be, like, a family reunion, and everybody's here. But it meant that these characters were nothing once you got past this base idea.
There's also this really weird moment where there is, I believe, a Russian bear, and that felt awful. That was bad. They should not have done that. That is not cool. Like, the entire... Okay, I'm actually... oh, no. Alright, I'm looking here at the credits. It is a foreign Croatian bear.
It wasn't very good. It was bad. It was bad, and it was this weirdly racist moment in a movie that I genuinely expected to be racist against Native Americans at some point, and it kind of managed not to be, so good on them.
I mean, they managed to be racist in another way, so...
Yes. So then, Coda tells his story, and Kenai realizes he killed Coda's mom.
Whoa!
And then we get that whole, like, confession where he tells Coda everything, which, one, is a lot to lay on a kid.
That scene is so tonally dark, because there's a moment in the middle of that scene where the song that's playing over it, which is also forgettable and bad, stops. And Coda just says, I don't like this story.
Yeah, that's...
And then he keeps going.
That felt like the most real moment in the movie, but the music was, Brother Bear, I Let You Down. And my note was, Christ, this music is bad. It did not fit this horribly dark scene where he was telling a child how he murdered his mother. And then he goes to a mountain to become human again because he's so sad about being a bear. And the freaking Canadian moose show up to talk to Coda. And I hated this scene too because it made no sense. They're like having this weird brotherly bonding scene, and it makes Coda realize brothers can be fallible or something, but it's still not at the level of I killed your mom. Also, we met maybe a week ago, so like
it's the scene almost kind of feels demeaning because they're both. It's like they're trying to tell me, hey man, whether it's because your brother doesn't kind of insulted you a little too much or accidentally killed your mom, you have to forgive your brother. And it's like, whoa.
What the hell?
Hold the phone a minute. One of those crimes is not like the other.
But it makes Coda end up saving Kenai from being killed by his own brother, which also would have been very dark.
So I would like to say that I enjoy the fact that over the course of this movie, Kenai's brother seems to get, like, these heavy bags under his eyes and
Yeah, he's
growing
like
this
haggard.
like tuft of beard. Like this guy is killing himself trying to get revenge, and the movie never really addresses that at all ever.
Well, I think because we see him as an older man, the wise man of his village, the storyteller, that makes me think that this whole thing for him is him becoming wise. They say something like wisdom is failure plus time. Except that's comedy. What's the wisdom one?
Yeah, comedy is no. Comedy is tragedy and time.
Okay, wisdom might be failure in time then. But the point is that he fails so much in this quest to kill his own brother. He is so unwise there that he becomes wise because of it.
Or something.
I feel like that's how they were trying to go with it. But I still wanted to know more about his story, because, man, he looked like he had a hard time.
There is a version of this story where it's about Denahi, like, thinking that he accidentally drove his brother to go kill himself.
Yep.
And starts chasing this bear, and along the way has to take care of a baby bear.
Yeah.
And then finds the big bear, but doesn't kill the big bear because he's like, I know that all bears aren't bad and I should let go of this. And then the spirits are like, this bear was your brother the whole time. Or something. Like, there's a version of this movie that's really good and hits the whole being a brother is hard, but you have to try thing or whatever that they were going for. It's so weird because I expected to watch this movie and think, oh man, this movie could have been good. It's too bad it's kind of racist. And instead, I'm surprised at how not racist this movie is because it's so bad.
Yeah, but it's also just not good. Like, great, it's not racist, but it's also not good. There wasn't really a moment where I thought, man, this movie, it's just...
And I really liked this movie as a kid.
Okay, that's a little bit odd. But kids can be not discerning, I mean,
I think a big part of why I liked this movie as a kid is because this movie came out the year the year my little brother was born. So I kind of was like I'm going to use this movie as an example on how to be a big brother, which worked out kind of well in the end.
Did it? Well, you didn't kill your brother's mom, did you?
I definitely didn't do that. I did accidentally hunt my brother to the ends of the Arctic, thinking that he was the bear that killed him. But we all make mistakes. Everybody has those days.
You gotta learn. Everybody has those days. You gotta learn from the stories, Andy. So Coda becomes human, has a talk with his brother about how, man, good thing you didn't kill me.
But then realizes that he can't be human because he has to take care of Coda. He's responsible for him, and because he killed his mom.
Here's the thing about that, though. One thing. We know canonically that apparently every bear loves Coda, and there are just a bunch of bears who it seemed like would have been pretty okay taking care of Coda.
That's a good point.
That was my problem with that scene. He's abandoning everything he knows so he can take care of a bear that probably would have been fine.
You know what I want to know now that I think back on this movie? What the fuck does this tribe is Inuit tribe thinking when all of a sudden these three brothers are just gone, and then one of them comes back with two bears and is like, no guys, it's cool. One of these bears is actually my younger brother. We should let him totally put his paw print up on this wall because he's a man now.
The moment where an entire tribe just accepts that one of them is a bear is a little bit odd.
It is a little, because for the most part, the movies...
The old wise woman knew about it, but bears are just bears in this universe, apparently. They're just bears. Why?
I don't know. This movie's not good. I can see why it failed. I don't know. It's got its moments. There are bits and pieces of it that if I take them out of this movie, I can look at them and go, this scene was constructed competently. But as a film, it just fails to do what it sets out to do.
That's the thing. The themes of brotherhood and this conservation of nature idea, the whole Moby Dick don't go taking revenge on nature thing. Those are good themes, and they just don't work in this movie. they fall completely apart.
I said earlier that I can see a version of this movie that works well. I honestly, I like thinking as I think more and more about it. I can't see a version of this movie that's good, because in order for me as a critic and a writer to make this story work, I have to throw away so much of what this movie I feel like what this movie started as. Like, it's too much, and in order to make it work, you have to throw a lot of it away. And at that point, it's a different thing.
It's a different story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can make the same story, because the core idea is going from being the youngest brother to being an older brother. I mean, it works to make that theme happen, but there's so much other stuff that kind of pushes it aside. Oof.
And it doesn't help that there are just so many, like, little jokes and scenes that are just... They don't feel like they were jokes written for this movie. They feel like jokes out of a sitcom.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, this movie doesn't have much of an identity.
That's true, and I think that's also true for the sequel, because I picked out a bunch of other moments in the sequel that I also thought, hey, this is just straight out of a different Disney movie.
Yeah. Wait, well, let's get to the sequel then.
Yeah, let's do it. The sequel nobody asked for or wanted. That's actually my first note.
To be fair, I asked for it and wanted it when I was a kid, because I liked this movie.
Damn fool.
All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna look up. I typed in Brother Second. I'm trying to find like information about this movie, so this might take a while. How are you?
Did you say how are you?
Yeah, I'm buying time because it's turning out to be really hard to find information on this movie's production.
Okay, I am doing good. I'm getting over a cold, trying to figure out, like, a work thing. Also, we're recording this the day after the Muslim ban.
Oh my god, yeah.
Started. So, losing a lot of faith in America as an institution now is what I'm doing.
Yeah, like, solidarity to everybody who is protesting and all of the lawyers who are giving up their time to try and help out as much as possible with that, because that is incompetently fucked up. Like it. I don't have words for how I feel about this. Like, it's so monstrous.
Yes, absolutely. It's monstrous. It's immoral. It's illegal. Which is,
yep,
I feel like, the most important part. If anybody was looking for an excuse to impeach Trump, this would be a good fucking reason. Honestly, I don't see how this ends. And I say that because I don't think America will survive as America for 4 years of this.
I don't know. It's so... Oh my god, it's a big thing. Alright, I can't find any goddamn fucking information on this movie.
Fine.
So I can't...
Let's say this movie made $14 in the box office. Well, it didn't have a box office. It was direct to video.
I could tell you about how much money it made. It made about $35 million. Okay. Just in DVD sales, and that's a gross estimate. Like, that's not an exact number. I can say that it made more money, or it made about a third overall as what Brother Bear did. And it probably didn't have nearly as much of a budget, so...
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that it would. Although, I'll say this, it does look the same.
Yeah, so that's... I think these two movies are the closest in terms of, like, jumping from the theatrical released film to the sequel. It's almost no change. In fact, in some ways, the sequel looks better. I'm having trouble putting my finger on why, though.
Possibly because they weren't, like, experimenting with stuff so much, because it's just a direct-to-video sequel, you know? But yes, I also couldn't figure out exactly why it looks better, you know?
Alright, okay, let's get started. Brother Bear 2. So, several months after the events of the first movie, Kenai is now, like, all in on being a bear.
Mm-hmm.
He's thrown out his human-like tendencies, and is so down about being a bear. And
into it.
Him and Coda are excited about going to Crowberry Ridge to grab the berries of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to read this sentence because this is a great sentence. Thanks to whoever wrote this Wikipedia article. Kenai is haunted by memories of his childhood friend Nita.
Well,
which is a good description of what happens, because...
yeah, like, literally haunted by them. But it seems like it's mating season, because it's the beginning of spring, right? So his moose friends are looking for somebody to get down on. And it seems like he might...
sweet moose ladies.
He's used to being human. He's used to always having a mating season, all year long. That's right, ladies. But he, maybe it's because it's affecting him in some way. He starts thinking about the first girl he was in love with. And he starts dreaming about her. And when they first sort of introduced this theme, I genuinely thought it was going to be about him meeting a girl bear, which I put in my notes, which is probably not going to be a good story, but more importantly, brings up a lot of uncomfortable questions about sexuality.
Yeah, so, this... How do I want to... So this movie really kind of gets into a weird place when you start watching a woman and a bear fall in love with each other. Even though the bear used to be human, it's still weird to watch human and a bear fall in love with each other over the course of a film.
We shouldn't be jumping ahead. She hasn't even been introduced yet, though.
Yeah, well, she has been.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It is still weird.
In the backstory.
Kenai is kind of having this nightmare about her, and Coda is making fun of him for it. But it turns out that Nita has grown up, and she was about to get married to some dude. Right,
and that whole... Okay, I might have been looking for stuff at this point.
Okay.
But that whole scene, something that struck me later was, like hours later, I was eating a sandwich and I thought of this. They have, like, a Western-ass marriage ceremony.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's a direct-to-video Disney movie. They just need to tell you she's getting married. But I thought, well, that's a little weird because they're not Western. They're Inuits.
Yeah, so this kind of comes from the same place, I think, as Pocahontas 2, where it feels a lot less insulting, because Pocahontas 2, they were just like, you know what, fuck it, who gives a shit about Native American culture? Let's throw that shit out. The original Brother Bear didn't really make an attempt to portray the Inuit culture, but mostly because it spends most of its movie not around how the tribe lives and does its day-to-day life.
Right, and this also would have been like 50,000 years ago, so you can make certain jumps.
Yeah,
nothing was written down.
This movie has like sitcom level jokes of like aunts fussing over a girl before her wedding day, and like having like a dad kind of being like, oh, my daughter's all right. It's so weirdly, and this isn't a bad thing. It's cliched writing in a lot of places.
I was gonna say it's kind of whitewashed, and it kind of is.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
But I'm not sure. It's just like, I feel like it's just to make the shorthand. You just need to tell somebody we're getting married. It's like I can't believe I'm doing this. Ugh. It's like in Kronk's New Groove. Ugh. When he imagines himself getting married and he's Jewish.
Yeah, Mazel Tov.
Yeah, Mazel Tov. And so I figured that's, it's the shorthand. She's getting married. That's all you need to know, But the marriage scene reminded me, and once again, I might have been looking for something. I thought it felt a little bit too much like Pocahontas, where she is expected to marry some guy from a different tribe to connect their tribes. And maybe it's just an easy plot to make. Maybe they just stole something from Pocahontas because they couldn't figure out what to make themselves. I don't know. I just put off, why can't these people just rip off Shakespeare like everybody else?
Yeah, and I will say though that like she's planning to marry this like very European looking guy. Like for the most part, everyone in this, like they make a kind of a meek attempt to kind of make everyone in this movie who is Inuit appear Inuit, except for this guy who kind of looks like Kronk 2.0.
He looks a little bit like Kronk 2.0. He looks a little bit like Gaston, which is important later in the movie when he just Gastons it all up.
But to be fair, like I listen, I'll be the first person to defend Gaston's actions, but it's much easier to defend this guy's actions.
We need to talk about that later. Okay, that's going to be a whole conversation later. Right now, the spirits interrupt a wedding where both people want to get married, and I just saw that and I was like, fuck you, spirits, it's her life.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, come on, spirits, you're getting way too involved in this.
Yeah, but then it turns out she needs a magical annulment.
Yeah, because apparently, like, God, I really hope that, like, the spirits don't get mad at me, because I remember giving a bunch of shit to people when I was a kid. Like,
That's the thing,
I don't know
right?
how many marriages I'm gonna have to annul to keep the spirits happy. Like, what, like...
I don't know, maybe, like, New Mexican spirits, maybe they're big on polygamy or something. And you're fine.
I don't know. Not like in the first movie, there's this whole thing of like the spirits are subtle, they work in mysterious ways, and in this movie, it's like, oh, those two are getting married. Make a canyon between them and divide
Make a canyon
them.
between them, and like it was such a big deal when Sitka came down and just like shook his head at his brother and turned him into a bear. And it said that this never happens. This only happens very, very occasionally. In this movie, some random medicine woman can blow something in your face that makes you talk to animals.
Yeah.
Why doesn't everybody always use it?
That whole... I don't know how I feel about that whole scene.
I'll tell you what, I didn't like it. That's how I feel about it.
I definitely didn't like it, but I can't go past that. I don't know what it is about it that I didn't like. It's a poorly written scene, and it's delivered very... Like the whole movie has like this level of being jokey joke that didn't feel right for a lot of parts.
It felt like they were rushing it. It felt like they were rushing that scene so they could say, this is how this happens, just believe us.
Yeah. This is how this human and bear are gonna fall in love. Move on, audience. So Nita needs to burn this childhood amulet that she still has, by the way. Like, I
guess it was important to her. I guess, apparently.
This movie really flip-flops, but so Nita goes to find Kenai, who is a bear. So apparently everybody knows that he's a bear.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, like, at the end of the last movie, he shows up again, right? Everybody knew he was a bear.
So I guess the tribe's been like spreading rumors, like, hey, did you hear about Denahi's brother? He's a fucking bear now. How rad is that?
Yeah, seriously. Also, his older brother's a magic eagle spirit.
Like, what?
But here's my problem with the meetup scene. The scene where he hides Coda because he hears a hunter, and he goes to fight this hunter, and then he recognizes her. This is fucking Simba and Nala meeting when Simba's trying to protect Pumbaa. This is the exact scene. And I hated it so much. It's like, why can't they just write a new scene?
It feels weird to watch a Disney movie. Like it's one thing to watch Beauty and the Beast and realize that there are a lot of points in Beauty and the Beast where they're kind of stealing a bit of introduction from how Cinderella handled it, because there's like a 50-year gap between those movies. But it's another thing to watch Brother Bear, a movie that came out Brother Bear 2, a movie that came out less than 10 years after The Lion King, and rip it off after The Lion King 2 already ripped it off.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's weird. Also, it felt lazy as hell, you know? Because it was.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because it was, we can't write our own scene.
That's my capital. I think most of the scenes in this movie are lazy. Like, they're all from something else. Like, there's no... I don't know. It just... A lot of this movie feels lazy. Like, ripped off.
So, yeah. This movie is kind of cheesy, kind of ripped off. It doesn't have its own tone, which you mentioned in the last movie is way more true about this one. It doesn't really know what it's doing with itself.
Well, where Brother Bear feels like it set out to to have a tone and then just lost it. Brother Bear 2, it's just like they just walked in and they said, you know what, fuck it. Like, we're not even going to try. We're just going to, like, every cliche that we can find in the book, every joke, every sitcom that we can reference, it's all going to be in there.
So, our moose friends, whose names I can't remember because I never bothered to learn, our moose friends are also in heat.
Ruck and Toot.
They have found some moose ladies to
That's
woo,
right.
And Kenai decides he's going to help him out here because he's dragging his feet a little when he realizes that that the first girl that he loves wants to burn his token of affection,
childhood crush,
so that she can get married.
Which, to be fair, if somebody that I had a crush on when I was a kid came back when I was dreaming about her and was like, hey, listen, remember this thing you gave me when we were kids that's super important to both of us? I gotta burn it because I like this other dude. Like, even if I was already with someone else, I'd be a little salty about that.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, she phrases it very poorly.
He's allowed to be a little bit salty about it. That's fine. So he goes and he wastes some time trying to get these moose to fall in love with these other moose. I have a few problems with this scene. One, in the last movie, the scariest thing besides bears was humans. That was the only thing scarier than a bear. Everything was scared of bears and everything was scared of humans. Now, nobody's scared of either. The moose, and then later the raccoons, nobody gives a shit if there's a bear around, or if there's a human around.
Yeah, really. It's like, some of the nuance in the first movie is just tossed out for this one. There's no...
Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot of nuance in the first movie.
There isn't.
They could have had more nuance. That would have been better.
This movie is as flat as they come, I think.
So then, he messes up this wooing scene. The girl moose kick him into a beaver dam, and he has his ass sticking out and his head in the dam, and I saw it and I thought, that's Winnie the Pooh. They just did Winnie the Pooh now. Like, come on, guys.
Every scene. Gotta rip something off every scene, guys. Gotta make that money.
I was so mad about that.
So, while they're trying to get Kenai out of the dam, Nita drops her amulet into the river. And at this point we realize, oh shit, turns out her almost drowning was a very traumatic event for her, and she has a mondo fear of water.
Yeah, you know, at first I thought Nina, in this weird back of my mind, when they did the flashback, I thought Nina was gonna die. And I was like, oh man, is this movie gonna get really dark? But no. But if she thought she was going to die, I can understand not going back into the water.
But yeah, it's a reasonable thing for the movie to set up. But because they failed to get the amulet, it washes a bit downriver and a raccoon decides to take it. Who looks suspiciously like the raccoon that is in Pocahontas, which makes no fucking sense. There is no way that raccoons of the same exact, like, fur-marked species would be able to exist both in this area of North America as well as the East Coast. Like, we're talking an entire continental divide between these animals. But whatever.
This is true. But maybe it's not a real raccoon. Maybe it's a raccoon god.
It's definitely a raccoon.
Could be the raccoon trickster god. Okay, fine. Fine. You know what? Fine. You can make up your own fan fiction. Jerk.
Well, I will say this, though, and that's that with this raccoon comes in Jim Cummings for his requisite I have to be in every Disney sequel voice acting role.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't recognize him.
We found him. It's Jim Cummings. Which, when that raccoon started speaking, I was like,
okay, yeah. That makes a lot of sense looking back. That was a very Pete the Dog role, actually. They have to swindle these raccoons, basically, of which there are 1 million. And they have to steal the amulet back because they're not getting it back. And during all this, they get pine cones thrown at them. And I'm sure you notice this because you notice this stuff more than I do. Those are they were like weird photorealistic pine cones.
Yeah, those pine cones had a level of detail that a lot of the
photoshopped in on top of this cartoon bear.
It was weird.
Yeah,
I
that wasn't good. And then there's this whole weird chase scene where, God, what's her name again? Nita. Where Nita has to run from like a bajillion raccoons. And here's the thing. Nita is a decent character. As far as being a character goes, she has character flaws and character strengths that are more than just the fact that she's gonna end up with Kenai. She's not bad, especially for a Disney sequel. She's not a bad character. She loses a bit of respect for me when she needs to run from a bunch of raccoons.
It's really weird to have such an I don't know, maybe I think I'm spoiled now because it's so weird to have such an incompetent female lead in a movie like this.
Man, we gotta watch Sleeping Beauty again. She literally sleeps the whole time. She don't do shit. But yes, especially in recent Disney movies, they've gotten a lot better on female leads.
Yeah, I'm definitely a bit spoiled when it comes to female leads being competent. So and watching
she's not incompetent though. Is the thing. She's still halfway decent, but because even Kenai, who's a fucking bear, is wary of these raccoons. It's that they made raccoons too powerful.
they nerfed bears and humans and made raccoons OP.
They kept asking if they could make raccoons so powerful. They didn't ask if they should. Jurassic Park quotes. That'll get us on top of the charts.
Life finds a way. Raccoons. This point in the movie is when I had a weird character disconnect, and it's when I realized like Kenai in Brother Bear 1 would totally try to kick raccoon butt. But Kenai in Brother Bear 2 is like meekish and kind of like, oh no, raccoons. I don't want to hurt raccoons. Like they're two very different characters.
That's interesting.
Me realizing that they're two different characters also made me realize that Kenai's voice in Brother Bear 2 is way different.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, because I mentioned earlier that in Brother Bear he was voiced by Joaquin Phoenix, and in Brother Bear 2 he is voiced by Dr. McDreamy from ER, Patrick Dempsey.
It is weird for him to have mellowed out to that extent, even though he's an older brother, not a younger brother now. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe just being a bear makes you mellow because you're already the biggest shit.
It's definitely weird to just go through such a major character shift in a couple of months. But for the purposes of this movie, I guess he has to be. And getting Patrick Dempsey of all people to be the male lead in your weird human bear romantic movie, sure. I'll fall in love with the bear that's voiced by Patrick Dempsey. It's still weird though. Because I know from an outside perspective, that bear is voiced by Patrick Dempsey. I'll fall in love with it. Nita does not, and she proceeds to fall in love with just a bear anyway.
Okay, yes.
I just want to let everyone know that I'm not the weird one. I'm not falling in love with the bear. I'm falling in love with Patrick Dempsey's voice.
No, okay. Okay.
Am I good?
Honestly, here's the thing though, Andy. Honestly, I don't know. I'm so bad at judging stuff like this. Do you remember? This was forever ago. You and Vita had a conversation about like how hot the Arrow guy looked when he was just without a shirt and working out in his like training scene. And I just like kind of shut up and let you guys talk because I kind of don't have a frame of reference for what makes guys look good or like be interesting as a potential mate.
I don't know. I can appreciate a person who has a good sounding voice is what I'm saying.
Okay. That's fine. I just I didn't even notice that his voice changed.
Over the course, so as Sonita and Kenai go off are having these like kind of bonding adventures, and she's falling in love with him and he's falling in love with her, and meanwhile Coda is being left behind.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes literally, which is like some really bad brothering, but I guess it's okay for bears because there's like a scent thing, right? You know how far away somebody is. I was trying to figure out while watching this movie if Kenai was really forgetting Coda or if he was just not being on top of Coda at all times.
He does kind of mention that like in certain scenes in this film as well as in the last one that Coda kind of does what he wants, and he's like, I keep my ear to the ground to make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble, but he can't it's like I can't stop him from being rowdy is I think his whole like he can't keep his eye on him 24/7, so he doesn't try anymore. He just makes sure that he doesn't get into too much trouble, which is a good that's a good standard.
So I'm not sure that all this stuff isn't mostly in Coda's head, because it's like he's not paying attention to Coda, but maybe he wouldn't have been paying attention to Coda at that moment. He just happens to be paying attention to Nita right now.
Yeah, and I do think though that this is like, this movie has a better, like, has a more reasonable brother fight than the last one, because it's not about killing
you killed my mom.
It's just, yeah.
You're not paying any attention to me. And this brother fight brings up a scene that I noticed, which is something. So the weather in this movie changes instantly. There's like a scene where they're playing in the snow, and there's a scene where there's no snow on the ground. And then there's a scene where she crosses the river, and it's beautiful and clear. And then immediately after that scene, Coda runs away, and they're in the middle of a blizzard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That
there's
was...
this, yep, plot
that
holes
was
extraordinaire in this movie. Also, but also it's supposed to be the equinox, so winter is supposed to be turning into spring. And in the last movie, when the seasons changed, it was like this magical, like, painting over nature moment.
Yeah. I will say, even though that doesn't hold up that well in its own universe, in the Ice Age, during the equinox, there was probably still a lot of snow.
So, eventually they get near the, to wherever it is they need to be, where Nita drowned to burn the amulet.
Whoa. You're skipping over a very important part of this movie, where Nita saves Coda from an avalanche, and then they get caught in the avalanche, and the avalanche is right the fuck out of Mulan! It's like straight out of Mulan!
No, wait, you didn't let me get to... No, you didn't let me get to the avalanche. I was about to talk about how, like, because Coda runs away.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, you go.
Holy shit,
I apologize.
No, I mean, it's cool. Like, you're right. It is the avalanche from Mulan. I agree.
I thought you were jumping ahead to when they actually got to burn the amulet.
No.
I thought you were at the amulet part.
They're close, and Kenai and Nita have this conversation where Nita is like, "Hey, do you miss being human?" And Kenai's like, "Yeah, a little." And Coda's like, "I fucking knew it. You're gonna fucking leave me, you asshole," and then runs away. And he's like,
right,
"Coda, you're overreacting."
Except without any of those words, because this is like a G-rated movie.
Well, okay, obviously, yeah, there's no cussing. Also, that was the first time we really cussed.
I feel like we've been getting better with cussing. I keep on marking our episodes as explicit, because I don't want to go through and make sure. Because I'm sure that I just offhandedly say fuck occasionally.
Yeah, it's possible. But yeah, so Coda runs away, and then Nita finds him, and then they get into this avalanche. There you go.
Okay. I already did my rant, though.
Oh, you tired yourself out? Well,
So she ends up saving Coda. She ends up saving Coda, which is kind of important.
I will say, if you want, I can just copy-paste your rant again right here.
Absolutely not.
And the avalanche is right the fuck out of Mulan!
Absolutely not. I want to get good and mad about the fact that fucking Mulan now. This is 3 Disney movies. 4, if you count the Pocahontas thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure you can. But you said, but there's like a whole Miko thing. So yeah, you can definitely count Pocahontas. This is like 4 separate Disney movies that they are ripping off at once. And now they're riding down an avalanche, and it's the worst. Anyway, she's fine.
Not good.
Coda's fine. Kenai digs him out of the snow. She goes and builds a fire, which is entirely too small for somebody who must be dying of hypothermia. I genuinely thought there was going to be a scene where, like, she had to, like, cuddle up to Kenai for warmth.
I think that would have been too weird.
Yeah, it would have been too weird, but she's cold, Andy.
They got dangerously close to it, I think, in that scene, where she's like, it's cold, and he's like, it's a good night to be a bear. And I was sitting here like, are these two gonna, like, cuddle in this movie? Because I don't remember that happening. And they don't, which is great.
It wouldn't be as weird as the baking scene in Kronk's New Groove.
It's, okay, see, that's the thing, is that's uncomfortably overtly sexual. But I don't know. There's a part of me that can't get over the fact that this is a movie about a human person falling in love with a bear animal.
No, that's absolutely fine. Here's what I thought. You know what? We'll say this at the end of the movie. That'll wait till the end. They get to their cave, build a little fire, watch the equinox, which is apparently when trees magically lose all their snow and get all their leaves. Because, fine. Set the amulet on fire, and then she goes home. Oh, but importantly, this is actually a good emotional moment in this movie.
Yeah.
The one truly emotional moment where she can't understand them anymore. That was good. Do you know what recording a podcast does to you? It makes you think, maybe I should buy a cord and plug into the internet like it's the 90s.
I normally plug into the internet. This is actually the first time I'm recording on like a laptop that's on Wi-Fi.
Wait, you plug into the internet and your internet's still that bad?
No, I'm not plugged into the internet, but I've recorded with you when I've plugged into the internet and my internet's still that bad. Yes.
Wow, that is a genuine shock to me.
Hey, we're in the middle of nowhere, man. Like,
I have decent internet here, and I wonder if it's because of the mountains. Because they put, like, satellite stuff on top of the mountains to better connect to stuff. What were we talking about? Oh, burning the amulet.
Oh, right. So I believe Nita had just burned the amulet.
Yeah, so she burns the amulet, and in the one truly emotional scene in this movie, she cannot understand Kenai or Coda anymore. And I love it because they're just making bear noises at her, and she's kind of freaking out. And that was great. But also, as I say it right now, it makes me think that they should have said that the reason she could talk to Kenai was because of the amulet. Like, because they shared a bond or something. That little scene could have been done better. But the scene where she burns the amulet and can't understand them, that's actually a good scene.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Brother Bear, this movie has a lot of like scenes that make me go, oh, that's actually a really good idea. And then it kind of but it doesn't deliver. And at this point, like, the movie keeps going.
That's the thing. That's kind of what I liked about this movie, is that they went to what could have been the end of the movie. And if that was the end of the movie, it could have been it wouldn't be a Disney movie. It could have been a very bittersweet story, and the girl gets married, and the movie ends.
Yeah, Kenai and Coda are just alone.
Yeah, they're just bears.
Well, but together.
Bears are bears.
Yeah, just being bears. Bears being bears.
But that's not what happens.
No, because
Instead,
Coda realizes that Kenai is hella sad. And he's like, well, maybe it's because Kenai loves Nita, and I should go get Nita back. And he, like, asks the spirits and his mom to turn Kenai back into a human so that he could be with her, which is also kind of a touching moment. Like, because he says, like, something along the lines of, like, I'll be fine on my own. And even though it's true, because we know from this movie and the last movie that there's, like, a group of bears, like, who are obviously love this kid and would probably take care of him, it's still not something you want to hear a child say.
He's also got these guardian moose now. They show up.
And moose.
And moose. And also mammoths. I guess they're just buddies with the mammoths, because they ride the mammoths again. He would have been fine.
Maybe mammoths are like a bus service in this movie universe, in the Brother Bear cinematic universe.
That's so terrible. I hate that. I hate that a lot.
So, Coda decides to, when Kenai's asleep, go back to the human village to get Nita. And when Kenai wakes up, he's like, that's a terrible idea. There are hunters in that village, and he's a bear.
So then Kenai does, obviously, the smart thing.
Is he goes to the
fucking
village
dipshit.
to get Coda. But to be fair, what was his other option? Tell the moose to do it? Like, well, the moose join him.
But they don't go into the village, because even they're not that stupid.
Yeah, even they're not that stupid. They're, like, waiting outside the village with their new moose girlfriends. And
right, we've been skipping over the trials of the moose as they try to get these girlfriends, and I think that's okay. I think it's okay that we skip over that.
It's funny, it's cute, it has no reason to exist.
I was watching this movie, and I was convinced that those two were lesbians. I'm like, these two have no interest in these guys. they seem interested in each other. They should just leave them alone. They'll probably be fine on their own.
So Nita's in the village, and her dad's like, "You look really sad." And she's like, "That's because I don't want to get married to this guy anymore. I love a bear." And he's like, "Well, that's weird."
Yeah.
He's obviously put off by it, because why wouldn't you be? It's weird. And so she says that she doesn't want to get married, and he's like, "If this will make you if that makes you happy." And then all of a sudden everyone's like, "There's a bear in the village," and it's Coda. And then, oh no, it's another bear, and it's Kenai. And
right, and Kenai is, I'll say this, he's really good at grabbing Coda and getting the hell out of there.
Yes,
and the weird part for me was when, after seeing a bear run through the village, not kill anybody, and run away, her prospective husband decides he's gonna go after it, and he says after them. And in my mind, because he had a torch and a spear and was holding up the torch, I added kill the beast. Because it's obviously what they were doing.
Really?
Fifth Disney movie.
Yeah, they really went all out, making him as Gaston as fucking possible.
It was absurd.
Kenai shows off apparently Kenai is not only incapable of hunting bears but is also incapable of defending himself from humans, because he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, which is so weird because he fought his brother really well in the last movie.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't want to hurt him.
So he gets kicked down a valley, and Nita's like, "You jerk, that's my bear boyfriend." And he's like, "What?" And
yeah, you know what? That's an okay reaction. Wait, it's your what?
Yeah,
But we know Kenai isn't dead because we see
maybe
bears.
I don't want to marry this girl.
Yes. But we know Kenai isn't dead because we see bears fall off of stuff like 400 times.
Yeah, I guess him and his village didn't hear about the bear boy.
Bear boy? Oh yes, yeah. These guys just don't know. That knowledge has not transferred to them. Despite the fact he was about to marry the bear boy's betrothed. I guess he didn't get the memo. She decides that she loves Kenai.
Yeah, she declares her love for Kenai, and Coda's like, and then the spirits like shine a light on them, and Coda's like, "I asked them to turn you back into a human," and Kenai's like, "But I can't. Like, you're my responsibility and my brother. I'm not going to." And then Nita's like, "I'll become a bear. Problem solved."
That solves all our problems in a really creepy way. Although I did write, think about it, what problem can't be solved by turning someone into a bear? That Witch and Brave had it right. And I think this was before Brave, which is too bad, because I could have pushed also they ripped off Brave in this movie.
Oh my god, I just realized that that's the whole point of Brave.
I love the idea of this witch who has one spell. This witch in the middle of nowhere who somebody asks for strength, and he's like, she's like, "I'm going to turn you into a bear." And then somebody asks to, like, be able to win fights with their mom, or whatever it is she says, and she's like, "I'll turn your mom into a bear." I love that.
I need to be able to do 10 push-ups. I'm going to turn you into a bear.
Bears can do 100 push-ups.
I'd like to be able to catch fish better. I'm going to turn you into a bear.
Exactly. This is great. I love that. And this movie really sells you on that idea of turning into a bear to fix all your problems.
We pretty much got to the end of the movie, though. She turns into a bear, and they're in love, and that's it.
Oh, we haven't gotten to the most important part of the movie, Andy.
Which is?
The part where they get bear married.
Oh my god, that's right, they get bear married.
They do get bear married, and it's insane for multiple reasons. One is that these people almost just killed a rando bear that walked into their little village, but they'll let 100 bears come to this wedding. And then two, because it's well established that all you need to do is give somebody a necklace. That's it! You don't need a whole ceremony! You can just be in a cave and give somebody a necklace!
Yeah, just save somebody from drowning, hand them a necklace to make them feel warmer, I think was the point. I don't remember. But, like...
That was That's
So
crazy.
I do want to talk about something that we haven't talked about, and that's that this movie has some better music than the first.
I still didn't like the music.
I didn't either, but it is visibly better.
Well, not visibly better, Andy. It's music.
Well,
I'm just saying.
thanks. Because the music, the great thing about this, and here's the thing: it's not a good thing that the music in this movie is better, because the reason the music in this movie is better is because the music in the first movie is like tonally contradicts whatever it is that they're going for in the film. But this movie has no tone, so they just threw these like generic alt rock songs into it.
Yeah, and they all totally work.
And it totally works out. So like, good on them.
That's so bad. I hate that. I hate that worked.
But it did.
Okay, yeah.
And that's it. That's this movie.
That's this movie. I feel like this isn't this isn't going to be one of our funnier episodes. I feel like we railed on the movie too hard, didn't make enough jokes.
Yeah, it's, to be honest, like, the first movie's kind of a bland mess, and the second movie's kind of a bland mess.
Yeah, if one of them was so bad that you could make jokes about it, or if they just went in one direction, in such a crazy direction that's the whole topic of the show, like in Fox and the Hound 2.
Yeah. I do kind of wish that this movie went further, like went all in on just, let's make a girl fall in love with the bear. Like, if they had gone, like, crazily into that, this movie would have been a fun thing to talk about, but...
Okay, it would have been a fun thing to talk about, not something I would show a kid, though.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't show either of these movies to anyone. Like, I have fond memories of Brother Bear, but I will admit that those fond memories are mostly because I was 7 when that movie came out, and yeah, just 7 or 8, and I just like looking like, no, I would want my children to watch better things.
Yeah, and there are so many good movies. There are so many. Nobody ever needs to watch Brother Bear 2
or Brother Bear. Yeah,
they can just watch The Lion King again, because goddamn.
Or they could watch The Little Mermaid.
Oh, or The Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the music and I like the characters in Beauty and the Beast. The story doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, that movie, that is my, like, least favorite Disney princess movie for a variety of reasons, but, like, so I guess we already got through our final judgments on Brother Bear and Brother Bear 2, which is, forget them.
It's pretty boring.
Yeah, forget about them. Forget that they existed. Forget this episode existed, honestly.
Don't forget this episode existed, because I made a list of all the Disney movies that this Disney movie ripped off, and I think that's important.
That is a good point. That's so bad.
I know, right? Isn't that terrible?
Well, okay, so what I want to know is which ones are they? Like, it's because it's The Lion King.
The Lion King, it's Pocahontas.
Okay.
It is, now I'm trying to think if there's one for, like, Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast, and I don't think there is.
Well, Beauty and the Beast there is, because of the Gaston-ass moment.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast, yes. Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, and there was one more. Oh, Winnie the Pooh.
So, 4 of those movies, like, came out recently. I don't know if when Mulan came out. I think it came out in, like, 2001. But, like, they're all
I think it's, like, 97.
98. All of these movies are 90s movies. It literally ripped off Disney movies that had just come out. Like,
yeah,
no creativity.
If they ripped off like Snow White, that would be a send up.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said, Beauty and the Beast rips off, well, it doesn't rip off, but, like, has multiple homages to Cinderella.
Sleeping Beauty, right?
And
or Cinderella.
Yeah, Cinderella. And that's fine, because Cinderella, like, that's a 50-year gap.
Yes, absolutely. Like, that's the difference.
And that's more of a, like, the parents of the kid who took their kids to watch Beauty and the Beast, they watched Cinderella when they were kids, and that's cool. But, like, we grew up watching Mulan and The Lion King and Pocahontas, and we, like, watching this now are like, no, this is fucking bad. Don't do this.
Yeah, why did they do that? Ugh, it's so bad.
So yeah, forget about these movies. They're not worth it, really. They're free on. They're both free on Netflix, though.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why those are the ones that are free on Netflix.
So
those and Tarzan and Jane.
Yeah, and Tarzan 2. Yeah, I've seen Tarzan 2 like 3 times now.
Why? What?
Listen, I don't want to talk
Why?
about it. I don't want to talk about it. I've seen it less times than Fox and the Hound 2.
Fox and the Hound 2. We've talked about this.
I will
obviously.
say I've seen
Fox and the Hound 2 isn't even a bad movie. It's just like not a Fox and the Hound movie.
Yeah, it's like a weird country western movie that happens to have Todd and Copper in it.
Yeah, and they have both kinds of music in it. Country and western.
The 2 genres that matter. So yeah, next time we'll be watching Beauty and the Beast and Enchanted Christmas.
I want to call it Belle's Enchanted Christmas.
I just looked it up.
The Enchanted Christmas. Also, you might want to... I don't know. I'm just thinking about it now. Should we, like, cut in what movie we're doing next after we exit?
I'll figure it out.
It doesn't matter.
I'll fix it in post.
Thank you for listening to Direct to Video. VHS? I have been Tony Robusto.
And I have been your host, Andy, the Brother Bear Extended Universe Reyes.
Oof, okay. I didn't gag that time, though. That time.
That one wasn't that bad. Well, I mean... listen, I can come up with something better if you give me a couple of seconds.
You know what? Why don't you do it? I believe in you.
Okay. All right, let me think. I think it goes to show that these movies are pretty uninspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to waste this much time.
Okay. We'll fix all that in post.
Yeah, we'll definitely fix that in post. And you can find us on Twitter. I am at royalty_Valens. The underscore is important.
And I am at theaterbats with an ER. And the podcast is at direct2.video if you want to go look at our website.
Find our stuff.
Yes. All the stuff.
Remember, if you can, leave us that sweet 5-star rating and review on Google Play or iTunes.
Also, thanks to Lee Rosevere for the use of his song Penguins on Parade. Although he doesn't know we're using it. He just makes songs for podcasts, because that's the kind of dude that he is. Man, Andy could be saying anything. I don't even know if he hears me.
And as always...
Oh.
Sorry? I couldn't hear you. Do you know why, Tony? Because I am the ghost of John Smith.
You motherfucker! Perfect.
Line get. Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. You know, we have to free this. Now, here's the thing that does make me a little mad is I was listening to what was I listening to? I think I was listening to Jordan Jesse Go. And in one of their episodes they brought up a show called Brave Star. Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So, I remember watching Brave Star. It used to come on Saturday mornings right before Bob Ross Painting with Bob Ross.
Okay.
When I was a kid, and I'm going to describe this show to you, and it's going to sound like a fever dream that I had, but I assure you that it's real. It's about a planet called New Texas that is overrun by bandits. So a Native American sheriff called Brave Star, who has the power of various animals, shows up to the planet with his sidekick, who is a cyborg horse that wields a shotgun to help save the planet.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And the show itself is set up so that every week you learn a new moral lesson about friendship or working hard or whatever. Standard 80s Saturday morning cartoon kid stuff.
Basic PBS junk.
Yeah, so when they brought up this show and I realized, oh God, this wasn't a childhood fever dream, this show exists, I Googled it, and you can watch full episodes of this show on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, nowhere on the internet is Hercules Zero to Hero.
It just doesn't exist. Nobody even, torrented it once.